Well, that's odd. Here. Alright, that was supposed to happen. Hi, everybody. Hey, I should be there now, right? So there's usually well, not usually, but on the other one, I get okay, we're getting your stream, press the blue go live button. And on my little channel, I guess that doesn't happen. So, front loading. I don't know where it is you last paid attention to me and where to catch you up on. So I can assume you're completely new and the algorithm has fed you to me for reasons beyond either of our comprehension. But welcome and thank you for being here. I hope to provide you with information that serves you in some way. It hasn't done a lot for me, but I'm sort of a cautionary tale. So take take that as part of it, and then get what you can and discard the rest of the nonsense. Um, I want to start with what's going on now. And what's going on now is I'm doing stuff over on the Sorting Myself Out channel for my friend, the bipolar guy. um, and that includes talking to people on the internet and broadcasting it. And I did one of those yesterday. It's over there. It's one of the links below. It looks like this.
Ocean of stuff I've found on the internet. It's fascinating to me how it's gonna wash up against these rocks of Christianity as you guys missionary into these wild unknowns.
Ooh, oh, that goes into interesting territory. I mean, that, whether Christianity can be let's say, a sort of anchor in uncertain times. That matters. That's to see whether Christianity or whether the various churches can properly articulate what they stand for. I mean, I know plenty of churches who sort of go with the times. And then, like Paul van der Klee was saying earlier in the QA about, Pope Francis and the amount of.
That was a great Q&A, by the way, just so you know. I could be cool and link to his channel, but I don't know if I'm going to. So we'll keep that on the side for now. There's a thing, though. This thing. Come on. That's happening tonight over there. The link for that is also below. That's going to be Q. Because what it is this guy is Jonathan Pajot. And he's supposed to actually show up, which is kind of neat. Bum bum. I don't want to go to your Twitter, bro. Where's the thing? He's that guy. There you go. But he's got good YouTube stuff I want to show you. Hold on. It's better if you don't watch while I look. So, here's more of a. Let me guess, I was muted this whole time. No, good. Here's more of this while I find the thing.
Hubbub it generates because basically the church equivalent of your very conservative uncle decides to change his opinion on fundamental societal doctrine. What does that mean? Because you can see a whole bunch of that is like, oh, well, obviously we're going towards the right side of history. And that's always an interesting way of arguing about these things because it implies that there's a right side of history.
Right.
Look at the last 150 years. You just laugh like right side of history, please. But I honestly don't know because, God, it took me 2.5 years to go from pretty anti-theist to finding myself really comfortably Christian, and I'm still wondering how that happened. But
Is there any phenomenological difference? Like, do you go sit down in prayer and feel different in your chest than you did as an atheist? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, but it gets better after that. You'll have to tune in to watch. Um, so the guy I showed you, the Pajot fellow who's going to be at the thing tonight, he did this talk in 2017 to like a bunch of Orthodox folks, and it's really great.
That the gates of hell will not prevail on the doors of the church. And I'm not saying here there isn't a time to seal the door of the church. Obviously, that's what we do, at least symbolically, after the exit of the catechumens. We should and must protect our mysteries. In fact, it rather seems sometimes that we've been sheepish in doing so. I want to show you something.
So that's a great talk. I'm not linking to it, but it's in my Twitter feed if you want to find it. And this guy, this two more V's feller, flow fight it is what he has to call it because of trademark issues. But he put a beat to it, and like he put music to the flow that came out of Pajot. And now you know. He's got a channel I should link to. Here's the samples and his fancy logo.
Maybe we can get together and isolate ourselves completely. I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? And we've heard some intimations of that tendency recently. But Christ promised us the gates of hell will not prevail on the doors of the church.
That keeps playing in this live stream. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so he made one, like, more of those out of that talk, and they're gonna debut them tonight on this other channel. The link is in the description, and I'll drop the two more link in if I can manage it. Okay, so that's what's going on now. That, and I'm playing on the Sorting Discord, a little on the Twitters. I've also been doing some stuff on DLive again for a minute, and let me give you a taste of that real quick, like. Clip management. Clipped by moi. Alright, so here's a little what that's like over there. Let's see. Not my created at. Let's get recent. Here. This was a good one.
Research. And their data might show that any sort of interactions to a tweet is a good thing. It's why they, I mean, literally, like you know, you say that, and it's like people have been saying that for a long time. It's like there's no such thing as bad press. So at this point, maybe they are intentionally going for. I mean, you know, if people retweet it, bitching about it, it's still a retweet.
Still a
You know what I
retweet,
mean?
baby. So that's going over on DLive, and this can't be bad press, right? He just said. It is the ugly Jew over on the DLive. I don't know. It's nice over there because I can play trademark music, and nobody gives it. So, I mean, you know how it is over here. You know how it is over here. Oh, I got some Marty McFly too. This was good. This was good. Oh,
We are pushing it full steam.
I take that. Where am I? Hey, I take that back. This is not Marty McFly. It is Marty Phalanges. This is his superhero name. He's Marty Leeds. He has a website. You can become a member. I love this clip.
And when they are getting to that point of transfer of consciousness, then they can transfer any bullshit into a cyborg, and it doesn't even have to be it is the Antichrist. Yes, it is the Antichrist, and that's the direction that we're going. And it's up to us to really like honor, you know, what's righteous, You know, like I've thought about like what if it does get like, because I have always been talking about that, Marty. Like, should I just zen out and transcend to another dimension, or should I get an army together, or what the hell is going to go down? Like, I'm right in between walking around strapped and just meditating and floating through the city. So it's like, at the end of the day, what if it's a cyborg army? I could shoot a cyborg, and I think I could kill a cyborg. I don't see karmic repercussions from that, right?
I mean, I guess we'll find out. I don't know what to say.
I mean, these are the things that I think about.
It's like, let's just say I'm keeping.
So that's some of the fun stuff that happens over there. My channel had some replays. I lost them, some of them. I downloaded one though. It was all right. I'm practicing, like, since I'm gonna be saying things to, come here. Since I'm gonna be saying things to people, I'm working on getting a coherent narrative together to speak of things. Not my strong suit, but that's the practice. Let's see. I'm way behind on what I've been doing on this channel, which is you know, 'cause you're always there, right? This was good.
Officer KD6-3.7.
You want to hear it though.
The spiritual essence of you that comes down, and then to live as that expression of the creative force or your soul, which is in you dormant in the first stage of your monadic career.
And blood black nothingness began to spin.
Awakened in that second where you become aware of the dual nature.
A system of cells interlinked
Within cells, interlinked within one stem.
Advanced in that third where you become nothing but consciousness, aware of yourself, your soul, who you are.
Dreadfully distinct against the dark.
Dreadfully
Your
distinct
power
against the dark. Okay, so I do
stepping
those.
down that
I'm way behind. Even the watch history highlights stuff I do.
And
Right.
if
That I'm like so far behind, because like somewhere in my watch history is I think it's in an Uber Boyle, but he's talking about like how everybody gets all into Socrates and that kind of thinking as the society collapses. No, that's gotta be Grannon. And then, you know, I got places to go from there, but that's so far back now. I don't think I'll ever find it. So this guy's got some hot. He's I think he's just like kind of like the Stoa's version of what me and my friends are with these other channels. But they let him put on a show, and check out this bit, I think.
If it's stuff that you're like super familiar with, and it's redundant, I apologize. But we're gonna get into a little graphic visualization that I drew up. Okay, everyone can see that, right? Great. So what we're looking at is just a conceptual visualization of what I was saying earlier. I'm going to call embodied metaphysics. So we're like going to touch on basic philosophy, and then slowly move that into something more like experiential that we can relate to and ground a bit more. So the first thing to notice in this picture is the dualistic aspect of essence and emptiness. Those terms come from Taoism, but if you were talking to Plato, he would call it emptiness would be kora, which is like the receptacle of experience, and essence would be like idea. There's like a Greek word for it, but it can be like idea or form. And to try to like ground these notions a bit in something that might feel a bit more intuitive, you can think of emptiness like, and this is like no metaphor really gets to it. That's kind of the nature of like trying to get non-dual about dualism, but emptiness can kind of be thought of as like a canvas. And it's the blank space which allows for form to arise, you could say. Very imperfect metaphor, but and you can get this a little closer to home by thinking about awareness itself. So we like have a sense of I who is aware, and then all of this which I'm aware of. But what is the nature of awareness? One way you could talk about that is emptiness. It's just like this empty whatever in which form is appearing. So if like emptiness seems like super esoteric, and that's not the only way to talk about emptiness, but I think that's a very helpful way to talk about it. And I kind of thought that would be like intuitive, but I was talking to my sister about this the other day, and I was like, you know how like you're just aware of everything? And she's like, well, sometimes I'm aware. I was like, no, like I don't mean like conscientious or something like that. I mean like you're just aware. Well, there's awareness happening. And she's kind of scratching her head about it. So if you don't like kind of get this sense of this field, this like empty field of awareness, it's something to like maybe investigate a little bit. Just it's not a thing. It can almost be felt or imputed or something. So there's an emptiness to reality. It's it's not an external emptiness. I'm talking about dark space. I'm talking about like the emptiness of consciousness.
He goes on to some great stuff, but I like the rainbow and how he breaks the rainbow into the Venn. See, this is a Venn right here, where this circle and this circle, they Venn. That's whenever I say Venn, that's a Venn. And he focuses that this is your mind, and then this is your heart, and then this is your guts and stuff. But like this whole chakra rainbow system is super useful if you break it down like Ra does, which is why I think like if I can get these smart people to like, you know, get past the oh my God it's woo enough to see what they're saying in there, it's useful and will help people, I think. Anyway, so the red is like root source. Like if you want to kill yourself, yours is inverted. Also true with the orange, which is like your self-worth, your internal hootenanny. Hootenanny. And, if that's inverted, it can do bad things. And then there's the social. There's the yellow. This is like us, like right now. This is all flared up. And then there's the love, which we can skip over like Plato does. And then the wisdom. Wisdom comes in here, and it's your throat, your ability to communicate this nonsense. And then, other aspects of higher mind. And the thing is, this system, these 7 concerns, or, the overlap, the Venn of these is like probably our motivational pillar. And I think it also maps to your brain, like this is lizard brain stuff, and this is like prefrontal cortex stuff. And I think if we lay it over like the functions of the brain, like I don't know, everybody's got you got your energy centers in here, but like there's also a homunculus version, like to do with to map how our body works, maps onto that one part of the brain. It's the same thing with the chakras, I think. And I like to poke around with that with some other brains, if you know anybody. But the other cast of characters I'd like to familiarize you with is that's the Vanderclay guy. I got better stuff of him in here somewhere though. There's Pajot and Merc and Andrea. You should know these people.
Co-host of Sorting Myself Out. I'm joined today by Andrea Lewis from the YouTube channel Andrea with the Bangs, and she's agreed to assist me with my interrogation of Jonathan Pajot. Now, this usually goes best when you start with the good cop, so I'm going to hand this over to you, Andrea, and why don't you see if you can get any information out of the character. The minute you're not cooperating, Jonathan, I'm stepping in, so I asked Andrea.
We should come.
So like those two are going to be at the party tonight. That's the speech giver symbolic guy. That's my bipolar friend. That's Andrea. She's around and great and community glue and like interconnect. She's a networking device. I don't know if she knows it though. Let's see. Who else do you need to know? You need to know Dowbeard. Let me grab this part was all right. I got him slamming the channeling stuff earlier, but
that's true, and that's the more white that are providing advice in everything from technical to communications to brand strategy to the experience of what makes a good online forum in terms of the digital architectures and moderation and things like that. I was just on a great call yesterday with a guy named Gilbert Morris, who should come on here at some point.
On this because you said you're looking at people who have interesting theories of change, and I was just wondering who they were. Thank you.
Yeah. Mentors, I feel like I've always been fortunate to find and be able to interact with really good mentors. And there's so many topics that I know are really consequential that I'm interested in that I don't have really deep expertise in. And one of my fastest ways to try to get enough of a sense that I can navigate it, hopefully competently, is to find experts in the space that I think are earnest and really care, and particularly find multiple of them that disagree on critical things. And so then I'll reach out to them and really try to understand, have them guide me through the basic understanding of the topic and what they think are the foundational truths, how they're forecasting it, those types of things. And then also, and why the field is consequential, what they think is important that everybody's getting wrong, those types of things. And then where people that I think are earnest and smart, good thinkers who've spent 10, 20, 30, 40 years working on a topic, and I'm just not going to be able to catch up with that, where they disagree. And is it because they're looking at different data, because they're coming in with different epistemologies, because they're weighting the data differently, using different models? And if I can understand where they agree, what is seen as common knowledge, where they disagree and why, then I start to feel like I'm getting some sense of how to navigate it. Then I want to see what would it take to bring about agreement, right? Bring about.
So like everything he just said is essentially how I'd like to be talking to people. Like I'd like to have everybody come through, tell me their shtick, answer those questions, and just cycle through that until something happens. Meanwhile, who else is a character in today? Vervaekes. This morning? Yeah. He's got a really good shtick in here somewhere.
Realize, not just to get information that we can use, but we can train ourselves to make sense so that things become more deeply realizable, real to us, and we make ourselves as something other than we currently are. And we have lost this. We have reduced information to just facts, and we have reduced knowledge to just the consumption and the accumulation of facts. And so the Neoplatonist wisdom tradition is to try and recover from all of the information the reality that it is So the information, in our sense, participates in information in the Aristotelian sense, which points to the ultimate transformation of ourselves and the world so that we can fall in love with the deepest patterns of reality.
Like that was a good clip, yay. Yay! Yeah, we should talk about just in case you didn't think we were in the apocalypse now. Good old Kanye decided to come by and remake Rogan's studio. So like
Welcome to this.
That's Pacho's interpretation of it, damn it. He interprets stuff for us slow folk. Oh, Deep Blue's like Frederick Knudsen, good stuff. That's why I get the mouse experiment. He's a good guy. Well, he does good work anyway. Yeah, this was great too.
Ask him.
This guy,
this deep.
He's a very touchy-feely Burning Man guy, but he brings interesting things out of other people, and he's got a, I don't know, it's just not. I'm glad somebody else is taking that perspective because it makes me uncomfortable.
That creates a sense of the language that people start to use for that is religious. They talk about, a collective we, a spirit, right? Chris and I use the term Geist to try and play with the German sense. You get a sense of this tremendous. I don't know what to call it. I'm struggling for a noun and I don't have a noun. You get a sense of this presence that is deeply continuous with each one of you and even the set of you, but also is something exacted above and beyond each one of you and even just the collective set of you. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I gotta say that whole conversation strikes me as when two or more gather in my name. And then but not being able to, you have to talk about it without being able to say that, like point out that verse.
Yes. and I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna encourage us to practice restraint with this one. But I'm wondering if this is where the notion of sunyata maybe starts to enter, that place that you don't have a word for, right there. But
I think so. I mean, and insofar as I understand both Nishida and Nishitani on this.
However, I also want to introduce you to Vanderclay. And he just dropped this adultery, liberty, and sex as a portal to meaning. And that sounds fascinating. So here's a clip of that, and then I'm gonna go actually watch it.
Hi, this is Paul, and this is Rough Draft for Sunday, where I walk through my current draft of my Sunday sermon. And we started in Exodus, really a series about liberation. And liberation is an interesting topic because it begins obviously with the liberation of the slaves from Egypt. But then, just as the old preacher saying goes, first you had to get Israel out of Egypt, then you had to get Egypt out of Israel. And that's what happens in the desert. And to get Israel out of Egypt takes, well, there's no real timeline, maybe a few months to get Israel out of Egypt.
Yeah. It's going to take a few months. So that's what's up with me. Come by the Halloween party tonight. Links below. Thank you for your attention. And I hope today is the best Saturday you've had since last Saturday. Or something.